Welcome. We're going to get started. Welcome to Cary, North Carolina. We're at the 40th CALLERLAB Square Dance Conference and Convention, and it's the 26th of March, 2013. Our panel today is on surprise get-outs. Surprise! Choreo get-outs. And we're going to demonstrate some things. All three of us do have handouts. However, we're going to ask you to wait to receive them. Let us talk to you a little bit first rather than have you studying and reading and trying to figure out the choreo instead of watching what we're watching what we're showing and what we're talking about. Let me start by introducing the panel. On my left is Virgil Forbes from Pikesville, Maryland. On my right, Mr. John Jones from Arlington, Texas. Welcome them, please. I'm John Marshall from Sterling, Virginia. Woo-hoo. I'd like to talk a little bit about surprise get-outs and what we're dealing with here and why. Surprise get-outs to me are like a spice. They're like the little cherry on top of the sundae that you use sparingly. Surprise get-outs are not necessarily and preferably not gimmicks. They're unusual ways of surprising the dancers at a resolution to the square, whether it be a right and left grand, a left allemande, you're suddenly at home, a swing in a singing call figure, swing your corner and promenade, etc. Those have some value. They add some variety, but they shouldn't be exclusive because they lose their surprise value after a while. And I want the dancer to be surprised. It's a pleasant thing. I like to be wowed. I like to be dancing along, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, how'd I get here? I mean, that's very cool. Now, more recently, the at-home resolves have been, in the last 5 to 8 years, I would say, have been the time frame. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say time frame, but they've been the newer thing instead of the left allemande and the right and left grand. And there is a finite number of ways to do that, but I don't think we've gotten them all yet, and we keep working at them, and that's a good thing. The idea for me on a surprise get-out is to recognize that there's two views of the square. There's the internal view, which is the dancer view, and they see it much differently than we do. We have the overview of the whole square. So for us, we can see a surprise coming much more easily than the dancer can. There's some when they're standing right close to home and they say, oh, if I just did this, or, oh, I could have done a right and left grand there. There are some dancers that are choreographically astute enough that they'll see that, but not a lot of them. We have the real upper hand there, being able to have that overview, to be able to see what's going to come as a shock. Now, some types of get-outs that are surprises are short and quick, just bing. And I'll give you an example of one, and we'll dance a couple of these as we go through this session. But it's just simply an explode and roll in your home. Boom. Others are more intricate. They're easier to disguise as a surprise get-out. There's more involved choreography, more things going on. The dancer's very caught up in, I've got to go here, now I need to move over there, and then suddenly it opens up and resolves. So you can catch them unawares with a short, quick one that they didn't realize how close to home they were or how close to corner, or there's others that are intricate and more drawn out, and they're so involved in the getting there process that they don't realize they're there. Let's not forget, however, that probably the most popular get-out is and always will be center square through 3 to a left allemande. The dancers see it coming. They anticipate it. That's bread and butter. I mean, they like that. The dancer feels good. They know it's coming. They know they've done it right. So, again, I say surprises should be kept somewhat limited. Now, I'm willing to give if we can get a square, I'd like to give a couple of examples, and then I'm going to turn it over to Virgil to do some stuff, and then John, and then if there's time, I'll come back and add some in at the end. So can we get a square up front? And pennies would be helpful, I think, if we can put them on quickly. They'll help people see what's happening. And I will remind you that we are a recorded session, so when we have opportunity for you to share with us some of your surprise get-outs, we'll have a microphone, a traveling mic, and we'll ask you to do that. For those listening to the tape, the people are trying to figure out how to get dressed. And John's out there helping. This may take a while. All righty. I'm going to just set you up one real quick, and the handout that you're going to get has the setups for these in them. You can get to these spots any way you want, but I'm just for need of speed. We will do that. Can we ask the heads step in and face your corner, please? And right here, if you'll do a single circle to an ocean wave. Now, this happens to be a plus resolve, and again, these are all in the handout sheet, so you'll get them. You don't have to write them down if you don't want to, right? But from here, you know, we've often been in this position. You're at the 0 box, single circle to a wave is how we got there, and simply do an explode and the ends roll. You're home. They don't see that coming. They might be thinking Alaman left or right and left gram. They're not thinking home, and it took one action: explode and ends roll. Boom, you're done. That's a quick one. Those are surprises. They have a value. Let me ask the heads to do the same thing. Step in and face, if you would. Do a right and left through. Pass the ocean. Now, from here, you're working on each side of the square, but I want you to do an explode and the new centers roll, and you're home. And again, it comes out of nowhere for the dancer. They're in a tidal wave. They're not thinking about being at home. However you got them there, that will work. So that's a quick one. I've got some more that are a little more convoluted, but I want to give the other panelists time to deal with their stuff. And let me do one more because we do have the square up. Virgil, you weren't going to be doing demo samples, right?
No.
Okay, so let me do this one. This is a little more involved. This one it requires one thing. It requires the dancers to know if they're heads or sides. So since we have pennies on, you're in pretty good shape, guys. You know, if you're not sure, ask somebody standing nearby. They'll tell you what you are. Heads lead right. Circle to a line. Pass through, wheel and deal. Centers pass through, circle to a line. You realize we're kind of drawing this out. Things are going along. Now here it becomes a little different. Do a right and left through. Heads go a quarter more on the courtesy turn. Now my dancers are thinking about a variety of things here. You know, we're in a different spot, you know. We're like, wow, this is different. What am I thinking about? We're not thinking about being resolved. Now I'm going to ask you to do this in a moment. I'm going to say sides go 1.5, heads go 1/2. And everybody circulate. Go. All right. Bend the line. You're home. So what happened here was the hardest part was remembering heads and sides, originals. But they're all caught up in this T-boned arrangement, and yet as couples circulates, and they have to be thinking about that. They're not thinking about getting home at all. They're thinking about, am I doing this right? So there's a surprise factor there. I'm going to hold on that. I've got 3 more. I know John has a lot more. Should we change the order a little bit, John?
I don't care.
All right. Well, let's have the square. Keep your pennies and have a sit for a moment. We're going to let Virgil do a few things, talk to you a little bit, and then John will come in with a bunch of his examples, and we'll go from there.
Thank you, John. And John. You know, I feel kind of honored sitting up here with 2 members of the Board of Governors. No, but you're past chairman. You count. You know you're important if you got lots of ribbons. Surprise get-outs, unusual get-outs, specialty get-outs, take your pick of terminology. The whole idea is we're trying to surprise the dancer. We're trying to fool the dancer without confusing the dancer. The things that I've written in my handout are mostly very short modular get-outs, either from 0 lines or 0 waves or boxes. And the whole idea is I have tried to fail-safe them so that whatever I do, if the square is still dancing when I get to it, there's no chance of them losing it in the last 2 calls. Sometimes the dancers will surprise you, but we can try. When I think of it, and I do a lot of this when I'm teaching beginners classes, just to give them a little feel and so that they don't get grooved into the square through 3, Allemande left, or from a 0 line, touch a quarter, circulate, boys run, Allemande left, okay? We all learned those the first month we were calling, and we still use them. And each of us has a preference for lines or boxes. The reason I've set up both kinds of modules is give you a chance to try something else. 0 line, touch a quarter, circulate, boys run. Everybody knows that one. 0 line, touch a quarter, girls run to a right and left grand. Same kind of setup, takes them totally by surprise because they aren't used to having the girls run anyway. And to take them right to the right and left grand without the Allemande is surprising to many of our less experienced dancers. I wouldn't try that with John's group. They'd all anticipate me. I know John's group because my partner dances to him. Same thing from a box. You know, you're looking at the corner, right and left through. What's next? Dive through, square through 3? Do the right and left through with a half sachet, pass through right into a right and left grand. Almost 100% correct resolution for the squares. I'm trying to fail-safe it for behalf of my dancers. I don't want them to goof in the last 3. So I've got like 4 pages of these little tiny get-outs. They're quick to memorize, quick to use, almost totally fail-safe. There's both mainstream and plus, and if you look carefully, you'll see in my mainstream resolutions, there's several places I use a plus call, and you'll spot it and figure out why. John?
All righty. Thank you, Virgil. It is important to keep in mind, Virgil meant, when he said fool the dancers, he meant it in the best way. He didn't mean to confuse them, as he said. He really wants to make sure that they get the sparkle value out of it, and I think that's worthwhile. John's got a great series of these up here, and I want him to share with us, and then I'll come back and share a few more of mine, and maybe if we have time, we're going to ask you guys to share some along with us of yours. You might have some goodies that you're willing to give up and share. You know, don't hold back. You know, it's all research. Here you go, John Jones.
Thank you, John. Everybody say howdy. Howdy. Thank you very much. All right, have y'all got plenty of room? We can shove a chair back if we need to. Don't worry. Don't delay and move in the chair if you have to. Okay, I'm gonna go through these real fast because I don't want to take up too much time. But these are good. I don't normally go around giving everybody all my stuff. But since you're here, I will share with you. I do have a handout, and John didn't want us to put the handouts early because you'd be sitting there reading these things and know what was coming before we got there. So we wanted to show you these. Heads pair off. Right and left through. Now, I've got written in the notes, and that we put the pennies on so you can see it happening. Anytime you can have this set up, and I wrote it down, anytime you can dive through and square through 3/4 to an Allemande left, how many times have we called that? Or pass to the center and square through 3 to an Allemande left. Anytime you can do this, you have 2 options. Ready? Left square through. On the third hand, Allemande left. That'll work every time, guaranteed. Pair off again. Let's do it on the other side. Do it on the other side so the sides pair off this time. So they can see it from over here. Right and left through. Left square through 2.5 to an Allemande left. Same thing. Just a different terminology. All right, for singer, heads pair off. For singing call, right and left through. Set it up however you want to, and this is your get out for the singing call. Square through 3, and on the third hand, swing the corner. Okay, square you set. You don't have to promenade. You know how to do that. That'll work every time. Make me a 0 line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Let me jump in, John, real quick. You notice the square through 2.5? There's your surprise factor. You've distracted them. They're thinking, what the heck is 2.5? They're not thinking about out-of-man left, and then there it is. Yeah.
I love to watch experienced dancers and callers make a 0 line. We got to have a debate about it before we know who's going to get to what place. Past the ocean. Tim Crawford called me one time, and Deborah and I were up in Utah, driving down the highway and talking to him on the phone, and all at once it dawned on me we could do this. Split circulate, double, and a right and a left grand. Slow down, boys. Speed up, girls. Then you'll meet at home. All right? Now, I've got written in here, set up a 1/2 corner line. Does everybody know what a 1/2 line is? Does anybody not know what a 1/2 line is? It means in your arrangement chart, the first arrangement of a line is 0, and then 1/2. It's a half sashayed line. That's a 1/2 line. So I say set up a 1/2 corner line, heads pair off, and slide through. Pass through, partner trade, right and left through, and half sachet. There may be quicker ways to get there, but that's just the first thing that went through my mind. The ends box the net. Square through 5 around the outside. The center's left square through 4 on the inside. And alley man left. That works every time. Or heads pair off again. I'm going to keep doing it this way. Star through and half sachet. I know we ain't going to go through all the other bit. We're in this part right here. The ends square through 4 on the outside, while the center is left square through 4 on the inside. And you will meet the same sex. No, that didn't work, did it? Well, I guess I left something out. Did y'all do 5 on the outside? No, you got one more. You got to do 5. Y'all haven't done 5 yet. You got to do 5. Did I say 4? I'm sorry. I should have said 5. Now you're meeting the same sex. Alley man left, same sex. Back to your partner, right and a left grand. Some are going wrong and some are going right. And when you meet her, swing and promenade. Now, if you set that up where the square is half stirred to the other side, they'll meet at home to swing. The same thing with the other one. Here's one that I love that Al Stevens and I wrote a long time ago. Head square through 3. When you're done, both turn right, single file, and go behind the sides. Sides pass through. Make a right-hand star. Turn it. Go. All the girls come into the middle, make a left-hand star. Boys, wrong way, promenade single file around the outside. Pass your partner once. The second time you meet, slide through, and you're home. And it works fantastic in a singing call for a 64-beat singing call to pass your partner twice and swing the corner and promenade. And you've got a full promenade, and it works beautiful in a singing call. In fact, I just recorded on an album that Deborah and I did. I put it to Old Man River, and it works fantastic. Sides, right and left through. Same lady's chain. Heads lead right. And slide through. And I've got in parentheses beside this an acronym, and I've got a legend up here for the acronym. I got a RHLL, a right-hand lady line. Okay? Touch a quarter. Circulate. Girls run. Right and left grand. And on the fourth hand, do paso. and they are home. All right? Now, I've got set up a 1/2 CLOS. That's set up a 1/2 corner line out of sequence. Heads pair off. Slide through. Right and left through. Half sachet. Square through 2. And a right and a left grand, but don't do it. You know how to do that. You're right at home to start the right and the left grand. Deborah did this one. I got it from her, I think. And I've got set up a 1/2 OLLOS. That's set up a 1/2 opposite lady line out of sequence. Four ladies chain. Heads lead left. Veer right. Bend the line. Half sachet. Square through 2. Trade by. And a right and left grand. Don't do it, but you're there. Okay, back up to home. Right there real quick. I'm not going to go through all these. I've marked some specifically. Heads, right and left through. Half sachet. Sides, slide through. Right and left through. And half sachet. And pass through. Centers in. All 8 circulate once and a quarter. And bow to your partner. You're home. All right? That's good. I wrote that. That's why I know it's good. That's in fact, I wrote most of these. This one Lee Kopman did. Y'all, if any of you happened to be at the CALLERLAB convention about 35 years ago, this is what he did. 4 ladies chain. And I use this all the time. Sides right and left through. And half sachet. And the heads touch a quarter. And arch over the sides. And you're in a position to right and left grand. Go. Don't do but just a little bit of it. And square your set. Cut across, girls. That works really well. This is asymmetric. Heard a caller to the first USA West convention that was ever held, and it came out of his mouth, but the dancers didn't do it. He said 1 in 4 promenade half. Well, 1 in 3 promenaded half. And there's a caller standing beside. I said, did I hear what I thought I heard? And they said, I thought he said 1 in 4. He did too. So we went back home, and here's what we wrote. 3 and 4, right and left through. Today. Number 1, the new number 4, promenade half. Go. The others. Wait a minute. Y'all didn't do it right. Go back. Number 1's right, but y'all come back. Y'all swap places back again. I said the number 1 and the new number 4, promenade half. The others, California twirl. Where in the heck was I? Oh, there I am. Swing through. Turn through. Hunt for your own corner. Alley man left. See, it's a stretch on one side and short on the other.
Just remember, when you're borrowing material, the rules of college research apply. If you steal from one person, it's plagiarism. If you steal from 3 or more, it's research.
This one I'm going to do now. Years ago, John and I and Bill Davis were doing a panel just like this. And John set this up and then asked me to get out of it, and I acted like I didn't know what was going on, and I looked at the square real quick, and then I gave the get out right quick. They thought I was really smart. But we had planned it that way. See, I'm telling all my secrets, but I probably shouldn't have told that. Sides right and left through. 4 ladies chain. And all promenade and don't stop. 1 in 3, you turn back. should have kept your hands held on that. You wouldn't have gotten turned around the wrong direction. But no, you're in the right place. You're in the right place. Long time ago, in early years when slide through first came out, my brain went to work, and the worst formation I could think of was setting this up like we had backtrack in those days. And I had the heads backtrack, facing same sex, slide through. And that puts the ladies in a left-hand mini wave and the men in a right-hand mini wave. We didn't even have the term mini wave back in those days. We didn't have the term magic column. We didn't have a whole lot of stuff. We had gotten slide through, and we hadn't had Dixie Grand but just a short while.
And this is where I turned to John and said, take it, John.
He said, take it, John. And I was talking to Bill Davis, acting like I didn't know what was going on. And I looked at the square right quick, and I said, those facing start a Dixie Grand. Go. A right and a left and a right and an alley man left.
The crowd went wild.
Yeah. Shoot, they thought I was smarter than Hoot. Make me a zero line. They're trained well. Past the ocean. Something don't look right here on this to me right now. I think I've left the line out. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna do it like I've got it written right here, but I think I've left the line out. AC/DC once and a half. But I think my setup is incorrect. 6 in the wave, swing through. Now, I was over in Germany calling one time, and I set this up, and I said 6 in the wave, swing through, and one of the dancers yelled from the floor, you have to say grand to swing through. I said, okay. So next time I said grand swing through, that's all right. But anyhow, y'all did what I wanted to. Now, then I've got it written as flip the diamond 3 times. That's the boys flip the diamond. Center 2 boys, the 2 center girls flip the diamond. That lonesome diamond, flip it again, and a right and a left grand. I had it right. All right. Grand, right, and left. Yeah. I didn't leave a line. I have another one that has the other line in it, but I didn't put it in the notes. That works really good. And you can put that in a singing call. You can flip the diamond 3 times, and everybody turn through and pick up the corner and promenade. And it works great. It depends. The question was, do I help them without showing them the diamonds? If they don't know it, yes. If it's brand new to somebody, I will show it to them. Now, and is anybody from Germany in here? Don is. He may remember this or something about it. But one time when I was in Europe doing a tour going around everywhere, I was told that the toughest dance I would have would be in Hamburg, Germany. And when I got there, that was where the guy yelled at me I was supposed to do a grand swing through. I didn't warn them what was going to happen. I said, flip the diamond 3 times, and I didn't say anything else. Well, they scrambled for a little bit before they finally got there, and then I helped them into it, and then I became a hero because I'd done something they hadn't seen before. Doug? Wait a minute. We need to run the microphone back there to him, please.
Doug Davis, Washington. John, with something like that one, though, you would build to that one first, though. You'd have them doing flip the diamond from that kind of a formation before you did it in a singing call.
Or do it in a workshop, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, you bet. Gosh,
okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that
it just depends on what challenge I get. I don't like to see the dancers fail. I like to see everybody win. And so, but this, and I've got another one that flips it 3 times. Well, after my entire tour of Europe, which was 2 weeks, 2 years later I went back and they said, we all know how to flip the diamond 3 times. Well, I was expecting that, so I wrote one to flip it 5 times, you know. Yes, Wait a minute. Microphone. Who's got the mic?
Barb from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Even though you flipped the diamond 3 times, we didn't have a chance to even see the diamonds because we were out hanging out in the outskirts here. So could you do it again so we could dance that part?
Do it again. What I told him in German, do it again. You ain't done it once yet.
That's right. Okay, we haven't done it once. We'd like to at least see that, how it works.
Certainly I will. I don't want to take up, I'm taking up too much time. Do I? What did I do? Okay. 0 line. Yeah, go the other way. Pass the ocean. AC-deucey 1.5. 6 in the wave. Grind swing through. All right, now do you see the diamond? The center 4 will be making the diamond each time. It's the boys have the diamond. Flip the diamond. All right, now the center 2 boys and the center 2 girls have the diamond this time, and it's a left-handed diamond. All right, flip the diamond. Now the center 2 girls and the lonesome boys have the diamond. Flip the diamond, and you're right at home. We do a right and left grand or turn through and pick up the corner and promenade, either one. It'll work in the singing call. I've got another one works very similar to it as well that I didn't put in here. Now, I've got an opposite lady line out of sequence. 4 ladies chain. Somebody's got a phone on. I can hear the darn thing ringing. It ain't for me. I'm not in. That went off then. Thank you. What did I say? I got before that. Sides lead left this time. Sides lead left. Veer right. Bend the line. Opposite lady line out of sequence. Okay? Everybody with me? Pass the ocean. Ladies trade. Ladies run. Ferris wheel. Now there's 2 things here that I can do. First, I'm going to do that y'all remember where you are right now, this spot, all right? Dixie Grand to a do paso. Love my wife and I love my baby and I like my biscuits soft and gravy. Get a little girl in now, promenade, go round the ring. You're right at home, so don't go anywhere. Okay, that worked good. Go back to the spot where you were. Or left Dixie Grand, go a left and a right and a left and a right and a left grand, but don't do it. Y'all know how to do that. Either one of those work real good. All right. Now I've got an SS on here. Like I said, I've got a legend up here. SS is a squared set or static square, whichever one you're used to. Our definitions now say squared set. Everybody circle left halfway. That's just the way I'm going to get into it. Stir the square halfway. Stop right there. This you can put this in a singing call too. Alley man left. All 8 spin the top. When you meet, spread. All 8 spin the top. Go back to your opposite position again. Everybody go to your opposite position. I'll explain it to you. All right. Alley man left. All 8 spin the top. Nobody has any problem with these, but when it gets on the other hand, it has a problem. When you meet, spread and hold left hands with your partner. That's the hand you men don't touch in the middle because I've already said what's going to be next. Start with the left hand. All 8 spin the top. When you meet, spread again and a right and a left grand. And you'll meet your partner right at home. All right? And you can put this in a singing call. Everybody go to your opposite position. Best way you can. Isn't that a neat call? See, then you can rest about 5 minutes because it'll take them that long to get it straightened up over there where they're supposed to be. All right? Now, memorize the routine. What I'm going to do is all 8 spin the top double, spread after each one, and then do a right and a left grand, and you do it. All right, alley man left. All 8 spin the top double, spread after each one, and then do a right and a left grand, and I'm in my singing call. Start with the left, spin it again, and then when you spread, do a right and a left grand, and I'm in the singing call on the opener, and when you meet your partner, you are home. Okay? That works good. Get them to memorize that sucker, and you do real good. All right? Here's one my brain worked on one day, and I thought, I don't see any reason why this won't work. Heads lead right and spread. And sides half sachet once and a half. You 4 do a double pass through, but just barely. Both turn right, and you got a funny diamond. All right? Now, the rule is if you are circulating and you're both required to occupy the same spot, you must join right hands in a mini wave, correct? Is everybody with me there? All right. Everybody diamond circulate. Single hinge and roll and a right and a left grand. Ha, ha, ha. All right. And you're home, and thank you very much. Thank the dancers, all right?
Thank you, John. Hang on, dancers. I'm just going to run through these last 3 real quick, and then what we may do is get some relief for you if we have folks in the crowd that want to share some. Great stuff, John. Great stuff. Lots of fun. And you notice that almost everything John did really was attainable. A little help here and there, perhaps, but it's important that they succeed on these. You know, we don't want to make it so convoluted that even if you get them through it, they don't have an appreciation of what happened. You want them to really appreciate it and say, hey, that was cool. That was neat. Where did that come from? If they've had to work too hard to get there, it loses its value. I'm going to do one thing that we sometimes forget about is surprise get-outs, or things that are not fancy, that are not convoluted. They're just underused. I have an example here. Have the heads just step over and make a line of 4. Let's see if how John learned you up on that. Zero line.
Well, we got it any way you go.
One way you got it.
It's a different zero line.
Yeah, it kind of looked like a Z for a while, but that's okay, right? Look like L, yeah. Star through, pass through, wheel and deal and spread. What did I do? I went away for a minute. Square your set. What did I leave out? Shh. I'm just reading and not paying attention. I left something out. Yeah, let's do it that way. Go to your zero line. Let's just see if I just did a typo. I had one typo the other day, too. Medicine will do that to you. Do a pass through, wheel and deal, and spread. It'll get the point across even if it's out of sync. Good. Pass the ocean. Acey-deucey. That's not going to quite do it. Centers run. Couples trade. All right. This is something that everybody's called on occasion, but we don't call it often enough. Tag the line 3/4. Now, what I was looking for, and it's not here, but I was looking for was a right and left grand. We don't tag the line 3/4 to a right and left grand anymore. We don't see it. It's underused. I'm sorry about the typo. I'll get it fixed before the home office gets the final on it. Square set. But it's underused things are stuff that we forget about. That that's not fancy. It's not hard. We forget about using them. Let's take a quick look at this one. I've written something here that makes me nervous, but let's see what happens. Zero line. I thought I asked John to check all these, so I think they're all. Well, no, he found one for me. He did. He found one typo for me for sure. It was a transposition. Pass through, wheel and deal. Centers star through. Centers flutter wheel. The other's half sachet. All right. Centers square through. Pass to the center. Zoom once and a half. All 8 circulate. What would you like? A right and left grand or a left allemande? Take your pick. Right and left grand. You out of sequence? I hate it when that happens. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Virgil has one, and I've got one last one.
Let me have a 0 line, please. We had fun with this yesterday in the art committee. Touch a quarter. From the column, zoom once and a half. Trade the wave. And a right and left grand. Zero line, either one. Touch a quarter. You got to stay in your own foursome. Zoom once and a half. You're looking for a left-hand wave. Trade the wave. And a right and left grand.
That's a good one. Okay. I'll take one more dip into the pond and see if I didn't mess this one up. Heads, half sachet. I'm sorry. Never mind. Hold that. Sides, reverse flutter wheel. That's better. And lead left. Head left. The other left. In other words, the direction your body flow was going. And while that's happening, have the outsides half sachet. Pass through. Face in. Pass through, wheel and deal. Spread. Have the boys pass the ocean. Have the girls touch a quarter. Now we have outer 6 dancers. The outer 6 dancers circulate. Find the center column of 6 dancers. There's a center column of 6. Center 6 dancers. Trade. Right and left grand. Right. Yeah. And that one's very attainable, but they're thinking about who did this and who did that, and the boys are together and so on. So that would be another example. And again, there's a couple of changes I'll have taken care of. How about a nice thank you for our square at the moment. Thank you very much, guys. You did a great job. We are done with these for now. We may end up, depending if Virgil has more or John wants to do any more of his. And if anybody from the floor has some neat ones they'd like to share, we see some neat talent in the room that would always be nice to call upon. I'm going to see if I can maybe, Lee, have you got something cute you'd like to share with us? We haven't done Alamo rings. Come on up here, Lee. Come on up here.
Give me a square right quick, and Lee, let me run through one. You come on up here and get the microphone, and you do yours. I'm going to do mine right quick. Give me a square. You don't have to pennies. You don't have to do the pennies. I need another couple, please. We got, okay. All right, you got. All right. All right. Y'all see who heads and sides are? Okay. Alley man, the left eye, Alamo style, right to you, honey, and you balance a while. Now the heads trade, and the boys trade, and the girls trade, and the heads trade, and the sides trade, and the boys trade, and the girls trade, and the sides trade. Left alley man, left, come back and promenade to go 2 by 2. Walk a lady back home. Y'all get that? Y'all write that down? It's in my handout.
Yeah. I don't know if you did
Everybody
this.
say hi, Lee Cotman.
Hi. Alley man left to the Alamo style. Swing through. With the left-hand trade. Left swing through. With the right-hand trade. Right swing through. With the left-hand trade. Left swing through. With the right-hand trade. Alley man left. You got it. You got to call it faster than that, though.
Yeah, and you notice he helped them a whole lot by saying right swing through, which is not necessary. It depends on who I'm calling to, Doug, as to how much I help them. You know, if I have some very good dancers that say, they don't hire me because I don't call anything beyond the plus program, I say you can't dance my mainstream stuff. Then I start digging and hunting. And here's one that we have fun with all the time. Alley man left eye, Alamo style, right to you, honey, and you balance a while. Swing through, go 2 by 2. And the boy run right, and the boy run left. and a right and left grand, hand over hand around the ring, and you never see such head knocking in all your life that goes on in a square when we do that until they finally figure it out, because the boys want to run right every time. Run left don't mean flip to them. Whose fault is it? The people behind the microphone. It's not the dancer's fault for screwing things up like that or making mistakes in that regard, because they simply have not had the practice at doing it, and it's our fault for not doing that.
This one is not in my handout. Heads pass through and chase right. Sides pass through and chase right. Make an Alamo ring. Swing through right and left. Swing through once and a half. Once and a half. Do an Allemande left.
Let me see if this is going to work right. I did not do this one a while ago. Heads lead. Head. Pardon me? Okay, Virgil.
Heads pass through and chase right. Sides pass through and chase right. Make an Alamo. Everybody squeeze your right hand. Swing through. Right, left. Got that ring again? Swing through once and a half. Right, then left, then right. Allemande left.
Wait a minute. Everybody do a partner trade, Lee said. Work around the outside. Everybody chase right. And the boy run right. And the alley man left. All right. Promenade back home. Thank you. Let me see what you do with this. Heads lead right. Right and left through and roll. And walk and dodge, and a right and a left grand. That do good? That feel okay? Let's do it on the other side. Sides lead right. Right and a left through, and roll. Walk and dodge to a right and a left grand. Get or not. Okay. Anybody got anything else? We got one. Okay.
Tom Sellner from Maryland. Let's have a zero line real quick. This one's a quick one. Pass through and tag the line. Face in. Pass through, tag the line. Cloverleaf. Left Allemande.
The flip-flop, Mike?
Yeah, that's a cool cloverleaf into an Allemande left. The flip-flop of that would be a cloverleaf into a right and left grand. Zero line. Half sachet. Pass through. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, that's the other one. That's the one you just did. Unhalf sachet. Unzero line, actually. Heads pair off. Thank you. Star through. Pass through. Tag the line. Cloverleaf, look for your partner, right and left grand. So it's the flip-flop of the other one. And you do those back-to-back, and the dancers go, oh, that's cool. Another twist, that's even cool.
Gary, you have one? All right.
Zero line. Gary Felton, Maryland. Pass through, wheel and deal. Centers pass through, touch a quarter. Centers trade and run. Ferris wheel. Please roll. Promenade home.
Nice use of roll. You want to repeat it? They can't write it down that fast.
Zero line. Oh, I was just going to say it. We don't have to do it again. We get enough exercise. Pass through, wheel and deal. Centers pass through. Touch a quarter. Centers trade, centers run. Ferris wheel, roll, promenade home.
Anyone else have anything they'd like to share? Here comes one. Bob, Matt, rather. Come on up here. I had it right the first time. There.
Bob Orley from Virginia. Head couple, square through, go 4. Star through. Pass through. Tag the line. Clover leaf. Grand right and left. You're home.
Here we got one. Say your 1, 2. Am I still on? Say your name and where you're from.
Harry Morgan, North Carolina. Do an Allemande left, Alamo style. If you spin chain through from here, it's half right, left 3/4, half right, left 3/4. Boys star across. Turn the girl 3/4. And a right and left grand. Or not. Thank you.
Doug, you had one?
Haven't seen a whole lot of at-homes. Doug Davis, Spokane, Washington. Don't hold that against me. I haven't seen a lot of at-homes, so let's look at one. Let's have the head star through, pass through. Of course, this is an across-the-street box, right and left through. Touch a quarter. The ends zoom and face in. The center girl run left. Your other left.
Hey, that was nice. All right, Lee's got another one.
All right, now, this is an old call, all right? Don't ask me what list it's on. Count with me, all right? Heads, lead to the right and circle to a line of 4. How many words? Maybe 12 or 13, right? Okay. Count how many words. Heads bring us together. How many? 4. Both of those calls put you into 0 lines, right? Or you don't know?
Well, you tell me.
Yeah, okay. If we have the heads lead to the right and circle up 4 to a line of 4 or 0 lines, you know what that means. If we say heads bring us together, you don't know what that means. Okay, I want to show you something. Shut up. Be quiet, okay? So I'm not going to call the heads lead to the right and circle to a line of 4. First of all, you got a problem. If you have heads lead to the right, and you end up in 0 lines, you know, if you're a guest, you don't know whether or not to circle up 4 and bring them out there or slide them out or whatever, because everybody has different styles, right? On the bring us together, there's only one style. The head couples, I want you to do me a favor. Move into the middle. Join hands. I want you to circle half. Do that. Drop hands and slide away from each other. Okay? All right, come back again. And do it again. Move in, circle half, drop hands, and slide away. You got that? Okay. Now, go back to where you were. Now, while they're doing that, the side couples, who you are, you're going to face to the right in single file. Do that now. And you're not yet. You're going to start to promenade single file around the outside, and as soon as you pass the couple, you're going to face in, and you're going to make a line of 4 with them. Not yet. You're going to promenade single file around there, and you're going to face in, and you're going to have a line of 4 with them. All right, now don't face single file now. Face in. You know what you're going to do? You know what you're going to do? Go. You got it. 0 lines. You got 0 lines right there. You don't have heads bring us, you know, on my list.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Lee.
I wrote this call 100 years ago.
Randy, did you have something?
All right, try one more time.
Oh.
Square up. Okay, just one more time. Heads, are you ready? Bring us together. Go sides. Beautiful. There are other things you can do. Square up for one more time. Can I show them one of the things? Okay. We'll just show them with two couples, all right? Side couples, get out of the way. Heads veer to the left. Girl hinge. Do a diamond circulate and roll. You're over there, and you're right here. Face in. Drop hands. Look at her. Back away. These two boys in the middle. This is a square, but except we got a diamond. Okay? These two boys are going to circle half, not yet. And then you're going to slide away from each other. You're going to drop, not yet. These two girls are going to face to the right and single file promenade. Past them. Can you understand me? Talk to me. Yeah, and yeah, you're going to go past. Ready? Go. Drop hands, face in, and you broke the diamond. Facing couples. If you did it from two couples on each side, diamond circulate and roll, then single, it's called single, you'll figure it out.
Thank you, Lee. Who's up?
Was that a single bring us together? Yeah, I think so. Randy Doherty, Texas, Arizona, Minnesota, and any place the IRS ain't. Okay. Head, square through two. Cross the street box, square through two again. Everybody do a U-turn back. We're in a right-hand lady line, half side shade in sequence, okay? Centers, left square through four. The ends make a right-hand, two-handed star. Everyone look for your right-hand lady. Do a left Dixie Grand. Do a left, then a right, then a left Alamand. And that was bad judgment on my part. I think I'll do that again for you. Head, square through two.
They can't write that fast, Randy.
Square through two. U-turn back. This is the setup, okay? The get out is centers, left square through four. Ends make a right-hand, two-handed star. Look for your right-hand lady who was original and do a left Dixie Grand. And on the third hand, get excited, Alaman left.
Very good. Don, you want to give us something?
Yes.
Time's up. Next.
And the result. Actually had three quick things. John, you were trying to do the three-quarter tag to a right and left through.
Grand.
To a right and left grand, yes. Yeah. And I remember some session Kip Garvey ran years ago, and one of the people in the session came up with something that I latched onto and is easy to set up, so I'll set it up for you. Tell the mic who I am. Microphone. My name is Don Beck, and I'm from Massachusetts. Head square through to a zero box, right and left through. Oh, I'm sorry, timing was bad. So this is where it starts, John, and everyone else. Touch a quarter, check a wave, centers trade. Those centers run, three-quarter tag the line.
Thank you.
Right and left grand.
Mm-hmm.
It's an easy, quick, and even with stretching to the centers trade, most dancers can get through it.
Yeah. Thank you, Don.
Probably. This is one that I like, and it flows well, but it's too crowded, so you can't use it most of the time. But let's have the sides take half a step back. Just to show you the flow. But head square through. Meet the outside to eventually do a right and left through. This is where it starts. Dixie style to a wave. Fan the top. Alaman left. Alaman, right to an Alaman left. You want to try it again and show that it really flows? It's tight. And I usually huh? Again, sides if you back up just a little so these guys have room. Head square through. Starting here. Right and left through. That's how we usually start a Dixie style to wave. Do a Dixie style to a wave. Fan the top. And even though it's an unusual fan the top, they're flowing right into it. And there's an Alaman left right there. And one last, and it's a simple one. And one of the things I like it is even if the dancers don't get it, they're close enough to the corner so they get it. But it has a slightly different feel. Let's have the heads do a half square through. Sorry, sides. And a right and left through. And veer to the left. This is where it starts. We've been here many times. You know, don't do it. Ferris wheel, center square through, three-quarters, this kind of thing. Couples circulate. Ladies trade. Ladies run. To the left, Alaman left. It's a quickie there, but again, they're close if they aren't mentally close enough.
Right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Don. We're putting out the handouts in the back. My handouts will be, there's 2 corrections that are needed. I apologize. They'll be taken care of, and my handouts will be available at the registration desk later today. So they'll all be there just with the 2 corrections. And if anybody else has anything, great. If not, how about a nice hand for our panelists, John Jones, Virgil Forbes. Thank you so much, folks, for coming in. Thanks for sharing to all the members who stepped up and offered their offerings.